Okay, so here's part two. I'm actually recording this on, what is today? Today's Tuesday, because I was not able to record this on Monday. But the good thing is that if you watched the first video, everything was time and date stamped. It was real time, 28 minutes before this market Monday opened. And so if you watch that, you can know exactly what I said. And so this is a review of exactly what happened. And pretty much, for the most part, every single thing that I said happened. And it's not because I'm some sort of genius, it's because these price levels have proven themselves since 2007 when I created them, and they work every single day. There is a method to the madness, but it's not complicated, it's very simple. So what I said, if you watch that video, I said, let's say we break above this purple line, I'm going to short this orange line. It took a while, but we're going to short this. The other thing that I'm not going to talk about here, I talk about this in the training videos, is we have a decent gap and we have this, I'm just going to leave my charts here, but you can see to the left, we have this purple line and this orange line, and you can see it wanted to retest that. So remember, we go from one purple line to the next. Okay, I even mentioned we could gap up. If you look at the close, I know these are tiny candles width-wise, but I want to show you the entire trading session from when it starts to when it closes all the way over here so that you can see exactly how this played out. Okay, I mentioned that we could gap up. We did exactly that. We gapped up above this, so there's no trade here for short. Okay, so we gap up above this, and so what I said, again, if we break above this purple line, which we did, we gapped up, I'm going to short this. Okay, worked out beautifully. It wasn't perfect because we got up here, but it was still a valid trade, and there's money to extract there. Okay, I also said that we're going to go long in the purple and target the next one at 1173. So here's the purple line right here, and then here's 1173. Now, what do you do with this? Well, if you watched that video, I gave you a really quick 5-second lesson on support and resistance. We can test this. If we break and we come back up to it, we break even, we go the opposite direction. What are we doing down here? We buy it. It tests here minus about, a couple pips or so. Actually, we're into the fifth decimal, so 0.00002. So in other words, 2 micropips. And we did drop from it. It did not have succession. We had a lot of support down here. So what do? Well, we can trade a breakout. Okay, I'm going to fast forward to market open because a lot of traders will trade this at US market open. We want to go long here. We tried this as resistance. We tried. This had great succession. So we get long because we're well above it. And where's our target? Our target is here. We can take profit here. We break above. We come back down. We test it. We get long again. And we come here. Easy, easy, easy. This is exactly what I laid out before this market even opened. Let's look at the JPY. Okay, JPY did about the same thing. We gapped up. I said exactly, I quote myself, we are looking for buys unless we break down. Did we break down? Well, eventually, yes. But we gapped up. We're buying on this orange line. Okay, I specifically said look for breakdowns below 110.03, which is what this orange line is. We didn't break down until later. So we get all to these purple lines up here. We can test this short. If we don't have succession, we get out of break even. You can put these lines in your chart, 110.17, 110.29, 110.31. I specifically said there is still upside pressure. We did not hit. This was actually a line from Friday. It happened to be a line the same for Monday. I specifically said we did not hit 110.31. We got to the tick, to the exact price, and that's where we are going to target from down here. So if we stay long, we can try a short here if we're not out of our long position. Either way, we take profit. So whether you decide to hold it or try a short, you're not losing any money here because you break even. We break above, you get long here, and you target here. So you get all of this, you get all of this, I also said we can use the 110.03 to buy. So that was another thing that I said for the JPY. And I also said down here, if we look down here, this cluster down here, cluster is just where we have lines that are closer together. I specifically said verbatim, there's pretty much 100% chance we'll have support at these levels. Boom, it's exactly what happened. So if we make it down here, so look, we have this break, it breaks down. So that's what we mean by breakdown. Support, we break the support, we come back up to test, we short this. Where's our target? Our target's all the way down here. So you get all of this, take some profit here, trade another breakdown, you get out here. Guys and girls, this is exactly how our traders make 4, 5, and 6 figures a day doing this. Okay, it's not complicated. We're just buying and selling off exact prices. We buy this, you know, market's done by this time, but we take profit here. Everything I laid out happened. Again, I'm not a genius. We just use these prices that have proven themselves since 2007 every single day. And we just use the common sense of support and resistance. We test something as resistance or support, and once it breaks, we're going to test it as the opposite if it comes back to test it like we did here. Support, support, support. If it breaks, boom, we're going to short that. Not complicated. No indicators, no squiggly lines. We're just buying and selling off price because price is the only thing that these markets care about. Trust me, 100% of the hedge funds that I work with care about price. They don't use moving averages and crap like that. All that matters is what prices the markets are going to use. Forex, futures, stocks, it doesn't matter. These markets move from one price to the next. It does not care what your MACD is doing or what your XYZ supercalifragilisticexpialidocious indicator is doing. It cares about price. Huge, 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 big money this day, every day. Okay, the third one that I talked about is the CAD. So what I said, I specifically said, look at these clusters up here as resistance. We didn't get there. We gapped down and we got to this orange line. It really tried to get to this purple line, which really sucks. But you know what? That happens sometimes. You know, we can't control these gaps. If we didn't have that gap, obviously we would have hit that because that's at least the spread of the gap there. But it is what it is. So we just trade what the market gives us. What I specifically said was look for resistance up in here. If we don't get to a price, what do? Well, we trade logic. We're going to trade breakdowns from that point. It just means that, you know, if we find support, which we did here, and then we don't get to a level, that's fine. We just need to go to the next logical move, which is, okay, we're going to watch for a break down through this area right here. Okay, where's our target? Well, our target is the next purple line. We've already, if you look to the left, it's kind of hard to see, but we have this one. So we go from one to the next, right? Now, we sit here for many, many, many hours. Probably not going to go higher yet. So we're going to be long here, but you know, if you trade overnight, and a lot of you are in different parts of the world, so that's your normal hours, you know, we're looking for quick reactions off of these, you know, something like this, okay? So once we break down, you know, we can go long, we can get profit. You know, obviously this is smaller movement, so we're going to take smaller profits because all of these prices are both entries and exits. It's where we get in, it's where we get out for profit. And so we had support here, we broke it. What's the next logical move? It's resistance. So we're going to short this. Where do we get out? We get out the next profit level. We had resistance here, we broke it, now we trade support. We get in here, we get out here. We can test for this, but if we have failure, then we just get out. We find support again, and the rest is history. We just trade these back and forth all day long. Some days are big. We have big movement some days, smaller movement other days. All that means is that we're just taking less profit or bigger profit on those particular days. But everything that was laid out on Sunday night, Sunday afternoon actually, more or less happened exactly. I had mentioned specifically that we want to target this once we go short, and that is exactly what happened. That was the initial plan. And so as the market progresses, we follow the same plan with the new prices. And that's it. We do the same thing every single day. day in and day out on any of these markets. It's just repetition. And that's, again, I've said this multiple times before, that's what is so great about this style of trading, is that we don't have to decipher between, what an indicator is doing. We use exact prices and we simply trade support and resistance. We watch for breaks like we have right here. And these are the trades that we get in on. We short this, we watch for a break. We're going to pull profits out through here. And then once we have this, then we can short this and go long off this because it already tested it as resistance. So what's the likelihood? Logically, it's probably going to go up. Where do we get out? We get out of the next line. That's it. We just repeat that all day long. So you technically could trade all day long if you wanted to, or just designate a block of time that you have to trade, whether that's late at night or in the morning, whatever, it doesn't matter. These prices are going to react from the time that that market opens. So this is Forex. So if you trade futures, it's going to be 5 o'clock p.m. Chicago time when futures start. Forex is a little bit different, and then you just do the same thing. It doesn't really matter what time of the day you trade these. What matters is that we have accurate prices, reliable prices that have proven themselves every single day, regardless of the market, since 2007. There's a link below this video. Click on that and you can get access to any of these markets, or even there's an option for all of these markets that we currently provide these price levels for.